faces I have seen all point me one way. All the decisions in my life, people telling me what's right, but I'll make my own way. I wish that they could see half as clearly as I do, but they never see it all. 'Cause every step that I take, I wipe my footprints away. I make my choice and I pave my way, and it makes me who I am. After all they say, my reflection still remains. You can push me around or put me in my place, but I'll never stay there. Understanding my life, why I am, may take some time. 'Cause every step that I take, I wipe my footprints away. I made my choice and I paved my way, and it makes me who I am. After all they say, my reflection still remains. You made your choice, you played your game. Now you're on your own again. After all you say, my reflection still remains. They let you in from your disguise. Once you're in, you never give in till you see the light drawn from their I made my choice and I paved my way, and it makes me who I am. After all they say, my reflection still remains. You made your choice, you played your game. Now you're on your own again. After all you say, my reflection still remains.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. We made it to the weekend. We'll have a look in the chat room straight away, why not? Let's see who is in there tonight. And we have Grumpy Old Bob and Chet, Neil, Bob, Barbara, Billy, Paul, Shorty Keys, Savannah, Matrix X, Lynn as well, and Susan and Dennis in the house moderating, Neil moderating of course as well, just going through there, and Carla as well. Hello everybody, thank you for joining me tonight, and let's get things organised up on the screen straight away with the live likes, which I've forgotten to do recently, but there it is on screen right at the beginning. And we are at 110 likes so far. So as you come through the door, if you could leave a thumbs up, that would be fantastic, because it will help us get to the goal for tonight, which is, let me see if I can get that up on screen, 340. as the thing in the corner says. So that's what we're aiming for tonight, another huge target, but we'll see how we get on with that one. We have been hitting the targets recently, but this is the highest one for quite a while, 340, and we're currently at 118. So let's see if we can get a little spike of the lights going on. As I said that, I think it just popped up to 123. So thank you to those of you who just hit the thumbs up as I asked for it. So let's get the names of my patrons up on screen as well, because they make this all possible in the first place. Thank you guys, you know who you are. Their names go across all of the live streams. Here they are over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, and they also make the analysis videos possible every single live stream that I do. You guys know the drill by now. Let me get the donations thing up on screen as well, so you get a lay of the land for the 35 to 45% that YouTube takes from every donation in the super chat window, and PayPal takes 3 to 5%, and you can find a link to that in the description below if you want, as well as the merch, which I have got a little bit of a reference to Orlando here, because Orlando donated $2 before we went live, so thank you for that. And the message was, spike the likes with lots of thumbs up and rock with some rock horns. So we also have a plug of the mug when we get the donation from Orlando at the beginning of the live stream, and here it is. So this is just one of the things that you can pick up at the store in the tray underneath this video, but there's also a link in the description below if you want to go over to check out any of that merch. So what I'm going to do is try and get a screen that I can look at that isn't going to be as confusing as what I've got it set up to at the moment, because I'm having to watch myself on YouTube, but what I'm watching is about 5 seconds behind, so it's very confusing. So when I click on a button to show something on screen, it doesn't appear until 5 seconds later. So I'm going to get a more up-to-date screen off to the side, so that hopefully things can run a little bit more smoothly and be less complicated and confusing. So I can now see on screen what we have on screen, which is good. We've got pretty much everything there. I did see that in the super chat window we had a donation that came in from Robin for $10 as well. Thank you for that, Robin, and that was a straight up donation without a message. And Patrick donated $5 right at the beginning of the live stream as well. Thank you for that, Patrick. And the message was, "Hola Phil, music joke for you. Where is Walla Walla, you ask? Well, Phil, it is between Ting Tang and Bing Bang, with a laughing face, hee hee." So thank you for that, Patrick. And that would be Ting Tang Walla Walla Bing Bang. For any fans out there, thank you for that, Patrick. A light-hearted start to the live stream. Thanks to Patrick, but thank you for that donation as well. Now, there were a few donations on PayPal as well, so thank you guys for those. And as early as this afternoon, at 4 minutes past 4 to be exact, and this is the last thing that I've got to get on screen, and there it is. So everything is prepped. We are ready to rock and roll for tonight's live stream. And just quickly, what are we going to be doing on tonight's live stream? We're going to be doing a pick roulette, but we are going to be doing a double spin. This is the big news for December, and I did write it somewhere. Maybe it's up in the corner about doing an extra spin. That was perfectly timed. For December, we have an extra spin. So what's going to happen is, for this month only, when we do the pick roulette, we're going to be spinning the wheel, see who we land on, and then we're going to go to the other pick roulette wheel and have a spin. And I'm going to check as to what the prize is for the second spin, because I can't remember, but I know that Carla has put it on Facebook for me. So I will check that out probably while you're watching the cover video for tonight, which is in the poll at the moment. It's More Than Words, which is in the lead by 65%, and the other song is A Design for Life. So those are the two options for tonight. Vote for which one you want to hear, and we will be listening to that a little bit later on. But yes, double spin on the pick roulette wheel. That will be happening a little bit later on. So in the PayPal donation window, let me just jump back to that, because Linda Z donated £10. So thank you for that, Linda. And I'm just going to scroll down because the message is, being a part of the catch-up crew is not what I want to do today, but I'm attending a wedding in Arizona. Hate it when other things get in the way of my happy place. Oh well, likes are spiked, and I'll see y'all at the next one, with a heart. So thank you for that, Linda Z, and hello to you if you're watching this in the future and you're part of that catch-up crew, because of course Linda Z will be there, but everybody else who will be joining Linda Z, hello catch-up crew, thank you for joining me a little bit later on, and you can still hit that thumbs up. It really does help everything to grow, for the channel to get out there, for these live streams to get out there as well. Thank you for that, Linda Z. And we had a very kind donation that came in from Lynn, and this was for 12345. So thank you for that, Lynn. £123.45. And the message was, cheers and great festivity. Happy birthday, Linda Z. So Linda Z was just in the house on the last donation, and it is Linda Z's birthday. So everyone say a huge happy birthday to Linda Z, so that Linda Z can see this in the future when she checks it out in the live chat room. If you guys can say a big happy birthday, that would be fantastic, so we can get a few messages going through the live chat room, so that Linda Z can pick those up a little bit later on in the live chat room, but in the catch-up crew, she'll be able to see it in the live chat room. Because we are live at the moment. It is 12 minutes past midnight here in the UK. So if it's 12 minutes past something wherever you are, then it's probably live. It might not be if you're watching this in the future at 12 minutes past in like 2 hours time or 3 hours time. But the best thing to do is type in time in London, England. And if it's not 13 minutes past midnight, then you're not watching it live, unfortunately. But just so you know, because a lot of people still get confused, and I get comments from maybe 4 or 5 hours in the future. For example, now that would mean, or in the future it would mean it's like 4 or 5 a.m. my time here in the UK, and they're looking for some kind of response from the live chat room, but you have to be watching live as we are now. But check your times just to see if you are watching live, because it is misleading when the video just loads up and it all seems live, because it was live, so it'll come across as live, but it might not be live. You might unknowingly be part of the catch-up crew. But Linda Z will be there tonight, and thank you, Lynn, for that very kind donation. Just gonna scroll up because there's been another donation. Let me make sure that I get to it, and it is Lynn, who has donated £54.10. Thank you for that, Lynn. Another very kind donation there, and the message is, Phil, wanted to thank you for your recent analysis of Adam Lambert's performance. Appreciate the level of detail you put into this one. So no problem, Lynn. I know that this was on the list for quite a while, but I do get to each video eventually. And this actually reminds me of something that had a comment on the channel. I can't remember who it was, but somebody said, oh, I guess all of your videos can't be good ones. Don't like auto-tune videos, unsubscribing. And I said that's absolutely fine, but I do people's requests. That's the way that it works on the channel. So I think it is really important to make sure that everybody understands that every video that I'm doing is a request by one person for me to look at that video. And if it is auto-tune, or if they've asked me a specific question about auto-tune with relation to the video that they've sent me, then that's what the video is going to be about. And it just so happens that recently there's been a few auto-tune videos, and I think I did say in one of those videos that it's similar to a couple of weeks where we had lots of country artists that just followed each other in a row, and it's the same thing. We just had a lot of questions about auto-tune and a lot of videos that were sent to me to have a look at. So I'm just doing the requests, and I think that if a video comes up that you're not particularly into, then that's absolutely fine. But I personally will look at lots of different angles of music, being not only a musician myself, but singing, playing guitar, playing other instruments, and having worked at production and Logic Pro 10, and also video editing, lighting. There's loads of things that I have done to get my music channel and my own music out there. You know, setting up a website and getting your music on iTunes and Amazon, selling it from your website to make sure that you get all of the money so that you don't have to give away a percentage, owning your publishing. There's so many things that I've done that if somebody asks me to look at something and I know a little bit about it, then I'll do my best to try and give them answers, or at least explain what they're seeing that they don't understand. So if there is one, for example, that is on autotune, I'm not now just an autotune channel. I am still going to be looking at all the other requests that have come in, and I know that coming up, what do we have last time? I can't remember. Oh, it was the Freddie Mercury. Unbelievably, I mean, that video just had to be made then and there because of the fact that they've actually auto-tuned it. I said it was sacrilege when I did it, so I don't know what it is when the actual record label do it to Freddie Mercury, but that was the last video. I know that tomorrow night's video is just going to be acoustic guitar, so no auto-tune on the next one, and then we'll see what comes up on Wednesday, and whatever is on the list is going to be happening. So yeah, if you want to watch any guitar related videos, there's probably over about 1,000 on the channel by now, because the auto-tune thing has only been recently over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, to unsubscribe after having a few auto-tune videos, I think just shows that maybe it's not the channel for you, because I do believe in having a community where everybody can get an appreciation of lots of different side of music. I've looked at live performances, and the other thing, Bon Jovi, for example, we had that actually been shared by August Zadra, who's a friend of mine over on Facebook, and he plays guitar for Dennis DeYoung, and Dennis got into contact with me on Facebook anyway, and he was saying that the Bon Jovi video, he actually shared that to his Facebook page, which was amazing, and thank you, August, for doing that. But he shared it just saying that when he plays live and when Dennis DeYoung play live, they don't use any pitch correction, and just kind of threw it out there that there are bands who are still playing live and not post-processing the music and all of the videos that you might see from a live performance. So I think personally there are so many levels at which people get things out of videos like that. I mean, Bon Jovi, that was really more towards pitch correction than auto-tune, because it's definitely just tweaked after the fact. But the good thing about that kind of video is it engages not only people who want to learn more about the processes that they might not even know about that happen on live performances and then released live videos after the fact, once it's then been tweaked and made to sound a little bit more accurate, in that case vocally, when it's released. But so you get fans of music who might learn something more about it. You might get performers who didn't know that this happens. This is a really important point, that for those people that say auto-tune's fine, what's the problem, it's like every other effect, which it actually isn't, but they say it's like every other effect. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't, but just listen to the music. That's okay. Auto-tune's a totally different effect because it isn't added after you've produced the noise. For example, singing, reverb is then used to try and embellish the sound that you've already made, whereas pitch correction and auto-tune is changing the sound you're making. You're not making the sound that you're hearing, so it's not an embellishment, it's an actual change to the sound you've made. And I did mention in that Queen video about it's like taking Brian May's guitar solo, converting it to MIDI, and then dragging his notes all over the place. He would not be happy with that because he's playing it the way he wants it to be played. He isn't playing it to have his notes moved by somebody in the studio. And that's effectively what pitch correction is. When you apply reverb to Brian May's guitar, it's not changing what he's playing. So yeah, that's the difference between those two. But anyway, it's something that's really important to bring up, that if you're talking about bands that are out there at the moment and future artists who are learning to sing, they might be listening to artists who are pitch corrected and auto-tuned, but they don't realize it. So they think that when they're slightly flat on a note or slightly sharp, that they might give up because they can't hit the notes like their favorite artist. So it's really important to throw it out there and to make it public that there's a future generation of musicians who might give up because they can't hit the notes as accurately as someone who they idolize, and they don't know that the person they idolize can't hit the notes like they do on their own album. So that's another side of it. To those people that say, oh, what's your problem, just leave it alone, it doesn't matter. It absolutely does matter, because there has to be a level playing field. It's exactly the same as somebody taking up sprinting, and then somebody in the 100 meters is taking steroids, but nobody knows about it, and that person taking steroids is always winning. So the person who's natural might think, oh, well, I'm going to give up. And I know that there is drug testing in the Olympics, in sprinting, but the same thing isn't there for the arts and for something where you might judge someone. I know people judge vocals all the time. Music is an art, and this is why I don't think there should be a finite level to vocals. So this is why autotune and pitch correction should never really exist, because they are making it finite. That, right, you sang slightly flat, so we're going to make it on the note. For example, you ran the 100 meters in 10.2 seconds, so let's just change that time to 9.8. So now it's, no, why not 9.5 or 9.4, 9.3 to get a new world record. We'll just say you did that. So it's correcting something that shouldn't have been in the first place. It didn't happen like that in the first place. So yeah, this is it. I mean, it's probably not a good example to relate it to sport, but it gives you the idea or the sense of what musicians might be falsely comparing themselves to when they hear an artist that they don't realize has had their voice changed by something, by a machine, to make them sound more accurate. So that's why it's really important to bring up these videos. And the reason that I brought up August's name is because he shared it on his Facebook, his personal profile, for all of his friends and musicians who are professional musicians. And it really does make you think, how many musicians are aware that this happens? Because I'm in a unique situation where I've done production as well, so I can hear autotune as soon as it's used. I can also look at waveforms, so I can see when it happens. But for those people that are just musicians and might just play guitar, might just sing, and haven't been in the studio and haven't got a background in production, maybe they can't spot it, and they think that all these bands that they might be seeing live videos of are actually doing it really well live, or being just insanely accurate pitch-wise, but don't realize that, yeah, this kind of thing goes on. Anyway, as you can tell, I do find it interesting. So when requests come up that are, to me, really interesting, I see no reason to not put it out there, especially if it helps educate people, but also just level the playing field, so that if you are a singer and you're learning to sing at the moment and you want to be a singer, don't lose heart if you're not on the line all the time, because the best singers aren't on the line all the time. They're not just tuned like a machine at 440 hertz, equal temperament. It doesn't happen. So just to put that out there. Anyway, thank you, Lynn, for that donation. I got a little bit sidetracked there, but that's probably in relation to the videos recently that I have looked at. But like I said, yeah, tomorrow night we're just going to be busting out the acoustic guitar. But Deborah has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Deborah. And the message is, thank you for the call out on the auto-tuning of Freddie Mercury. No problem at all. Like I said, I had to do that as soon as I heard it, because it's absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. Especially something as early as 1974. Because that's the kind of performance, live performance, that would be so good to hear the raw vocal that Freddie had at that time, to see how he then develops as a vocalist over those coming years. So yeah, it's a shame that you don't really get to appreciate his voice, because you can just hear the auto-tune, and it's really badly done as well, just so obviously just slapped on his voice. But anyway, thank you, Sue, as well, who has donated £15, and the message is, I will have to miss most of the live stream. I will try to get back in time for the wheel. Then I will catch up on the catch-up crew. Reek! Or rock. So thank you for that, Sue. And hello, if you're catching this in the catch-up crew, hello, Sue, again. Thank you for that donation during the live stream, even though you're going to have to miss most of it, unfortunately. But thank you, Paul, as well, who has donated £5 and has said, Wishing everyone a great evening. Spike those likes and thank the mods. Rock! So thank you for that, Paul. And yeah, big shout out to the moderators as always for making this such a great place to be, and just the whole community. Thank you for joining me on tonight's live stream. If you get a chance to hit that thumbs up, that would be fantastic. And we are aiming for 340 tonight. And where are we? 224. So let's do some maths. That's 115. Is it that we're looking for before getting to the pick roulette likes goal? To have another pick roulette next week. But stay tuned for that a little bit later on. We're going to be spinning the wheel twice for the pick roulette, and then having something else that's going to be won, which I have to check what it is. So it's a little bit of a surprise, not intentionally because I've just forgotten what it is, but it makes it even better when we get there. We will find out what is going to be won on the second pick roulette wheel, and this is just for December, by the way. Just in the Christmas month, we're going to be having a couple of spins at each live stream just to celebrate if we hit the pick roulette likes goal. So make sure you hit that thumbs up to get some double spins going for this month. So let me just get back into the PayPal window, and it is Francis who has donated £18.03. Thank you for that. And the message is spike those likes. Another great idea from Francis. And just going to scroll up because Kim has donated £7.21. Thank you for that, Kim. And the message is, hey Phil, how does pick roulette work? Hugs. So thank you for that, Kim. So if this is your first live stream, hello, introduce yourself to the rest of the community in the live chat room. That's how the streams work. We just all get to know each other, and I get to see all of your usernames. And the way that the pick roulette works is, say for example, this is your first ever live stream. What we have in the corner up here is a target that we have to try and hit with the likes. So at the moment we're at 240 likes. We're aiming for 340 likes. So if we hit that target, it means that the next week, so it means that next Saturday, we'll have a pick roulette. So it means that it is decided by this week's amount of likes that we get. We have to hit the target to have another pick roulette next week. So say for example on tonight's live stream we do hit the target. That would be fantastic. Keep on hitting that thumbs up. If we hit the target, it means that as soon as we have done the pick roulette for tonight, which was attained from last week's likes because we hit the goal last week, once we have done, completed, finished the pick roulette for this week, so we've spun it, somebody's won, fantastic, and it's finished, and we come back to me on the screen, you then type in the live chat room, I agree, and you tag Carla Murray's name in the comment. And if you just stay tuned, after the pick roulette has finished, I always type it out to show anybody new how to get entered into the next pick roulette. So then you type I agree, tag Carla's name in there, and I always do an example, but once you've typed that in, that means you are now on the wheel for the next week. So for the next week, you have to make sure that you are watching the pick roulette, because if you're not in the live chat room when the winner is announced, because it could be you, if it's your name, you have to be in the live chat room so that you can contact Carla so that she can get all of your details to send it off to you. So that's how it works. Hopefully that's relatively clear, and apologies if it's not, but if you stay tuned, hopefully it'll start to become a little bit more clear as we have the pick roulette for this week, and then if we hit the likes goal, we'll then have one next week as well, and you can get entered into that after this week's pick roulette. But thank you, Kim, for that and for the question, because some people might not understand how it works. So it's always good to have a little refresher. So let's quickly jump into the super chat window as well. And Orlando donated $2 again. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message was, happy birthday, Linda Z, with lots of pictures of cake and balloon and presents and stuff. So thank you for that. And again, happy birthday, Linda Z. Hope that you have a fantastic day. And Tarot Cat Readings has donated at $10. So thank you for that. And the message is, hey Phil, finally got to catch a live stream. Love, Dennis DeYoung. So thank you for that. And you can find Dennis on the channel here somewhere. I did an analysis video quite a while ago, but that was the first time that Dennis got in touch, and then I got to know August through Dennis, and August plays guitar for Dennis. So yeah, this is the thing. I'm going to mention now that the great thing about doing so much on YouTube is the people that I get to meet, interact with, and the people that contact me as well, which is great. And recently I met Warren, and I'm sure you guys now know Warren from Produce Like a Pro, his channel here on YouTube. By the way, Warren has broken his wrist, and he did that the day after I spoke to him. And I think it's a bit of a bad one. It's going to take like 8 to 12 weeks for him to recover from that, and hopefully he's going to be able to make a full recovery. But yeah, I saw he's done a video on it, so you can check that out. And I know that he doesn't like to make videos like that, kind of explaining about his personal situation and all that kind of stuff, because he doesn't want to seem like he's getting sympathy. But in this case, I think it's really important to let people know that, and certainly as a guitarist myself, and Warren is a guitarist and a huge guitarist. He's a fantastic guitarist. So for him to not be able to play for 8 to 12 weeks is going to be really difficult. But he, fell over. I think he fell over one of his puppies. He was carrying his laptop and his phone at the same time, and was trying to answer the other phone, and then tripped up and put his arm down and broke his wrist. And it's his left wrist. So it means that, he's now just got that in a cast. But you can see his video where he explains all of that. But I've got to know Warren and had a chat with him just across the internet on a Google Meets call. We spoke for about 2.5 hours. But the great thing is that through the channel, I mean, he watches this channel, so I was able to talk to him because he contacted me, which is great. And we'll be doing something in the future together. We'll have to see. It was going to be a cover that we were going to do and collaborate on that, where I was going to sing. But we'll see, obviously, with Warren and his injury now. Just recuperating, recovering is the most important thing. So that might be something that we do a little bit further into the future, because just getting better is the most important thing for Warren at the moment. But it's great to have met Warren. And when I was speaking with Warren, he mentioned about Blue Oyster Cult and Don't Fear the Reaper and Buck Dharma. And then I mentioned that I know Buck. So then he said, oh, I'd love to have Buck on the channel. So I said, that's fine. I'll send Buck a text and see if he's, up for doing that. So that was great. So I text Buck. And the interesting thing was, I told you guys about this over on Patreon, that I text Buck and he said, oh, hi. And I just mentioned about Warren, and Buck has watched Warren's channel before. So it's great to be able to put them together. And while I was texting Buck, it then tried to call him. And I'd already sent one text, I was replying, and it started calling him, and Buck was playing in Cincinnati. When was that? That might have been Friday night, I think, maybe Thursday night. I can't remember. It might have been Thursday night. But anyway, he's playing in Cincinnati that evening. So he was just getting everything ready. And I think it's probably about 5 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock his time. So I didn't want to disturb him too much. But my phone decided that it wanted to ring Buck. So I just managed to hang up before it started to ring. So I thought, okay, great, got away with that. So I then messaged Warren just to say that I'd messaged Buck. So if he wanted to email him, that's absolutely fine. And then when I was going back to my phone, I picked it up and I unlocked it, and it started phoning back again. Unbelievable. And this time it started ringing. So I just hung up because I didn't want to trouble Buck, because he's getting ready for a gig. He's just about to do a show. The last thing he wants, and I know because I've played gigs before, and about kind of 5 or 6, you're getting all your gear ready, you're doing your own checks, you're getting you're probably sound checking, you're checking your in-ear monitors. There's so much that you have to do before, and I'm talking about many hours before. You might not have even been playing till 9 or 10, even later than that in the evening, but the sound check is always a lot earlier than that, so you want to keep everything organized. So I didn't want to trouble him, And I just texted him and said, oh, apologies, Buck, my phone seems determined to call you. And this is the measure of Buck Dharma just as a guy. He then texts back saying, I've got a few minutes if you want to chat. So I said, it's okay, we can catch up, in the near future. I don't want to trouble you. And yeah, I mean, Buck is such a nice guy that even when he's getting everything ready for a Blue Oyster Cult gig in Cincinnati, he's quite happy to talk on the phone. So just such a nice guy. As you guys know, he's been on the channel a couple of times, and he invited me down when they're playing in London at the Hammersmith Apollo so we could meet up there, which was great. But he's such a nice guy, and he played it on the not In at the Deep End, it was the Under the Spotlight solo that he did on the channel for us as well. So Buck Dharma's such a nice guy, and yeah, I just don't know why my phone was trying to do that, but yeah, I thought I'd relay that story because I told everybody on Patreon about that, but I don't think everybody knew about that on the channel. So yeah, just a bit of a nightmare, but Buck is such a nice guy. It's ridiculous, and yeah, it's one of those things that I know that a lot of people say, it's not very good to meet idols or people that you really like in real life, just in case it backfires. But Buck is certainly all of the guy that you would expect and more. He's just so down to earth, so nice. And the fact that I mentioned about Warren, and he said, oh yeah, I really like Warren's channel, absolutely fine for him to contact me. So yeah, Buck Dharma, just a top guy. But anyway, thank you for the donations that have come in so far on the live stream very early on. It's 37 minutes past midnight. The time always seems to go really quickly here in the UK on a Saturday night and a Tuesday night. Just coincidentally at 12 a.m. forwards, it just really seems to run away. But thank you for the donations. Eileen has donated as well, so thank you for this $15 donation. And the message is, you're the best, Phil. When you have time, can you analyse the Moody Blues Dennis Lane song Go Now from 1964? It's a fantastic, haunting kind of my favourite. Thank you, love your channel. Thank you, Eileen, for that. There's some pictures, but I can't see. It's a little bit, there's some hearts there, and there's something else which is a yellow on a yellow picture, so I can't see it. But thank you, Eileen, for that donation. And yes, that'll be one for the future. I'll put that on the request list. I think I do have at least a couple on the Moody Blues. I know that I might have a standalone one actually on Justin Hayward that might not necessarily be the Moody Blues as the full band. I'm trying to remember. I've seen so many Moody Blues videos and performances, and lots of Justin's solo performances as well, that I lose track of the ones that I have analysed. But there should be at least a couple, or it might be just one of the Moody Blues and maybe another of Justin, and maybe a couple on Justin, I'm not sure. But anyway, Eileen, thank you for that. If you type in the search bar British guitarist, the Moody Blues, then you'll probably find that it'll be in the results there, probably quite high up. And yeah, probably that'll be the first port of call, but I'll stick it on the list anyway. Thank you for that, Eileen. And Ginny has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, why are some brands of guitars easier to learn on than others? Which ones do you think are the best? Thanks. So I mean, this is all about, you can find, as I've said quite a few times, you can find cheap guitars that are a really good match for your own personal genetic makeup. The size of your hands, the length of your fingers, in comparison to the size of your palm, all these things, your flexibility, the size of your arms, the length of your arms. You might find a cheap guitar that you find really easy to play. So this is why I always say, if you are going to buy a guitar, if you can get your hands on it first to see how it works out and whether it's a good match for you personally, genetically. So generally what you'll find is with lighter strings, it's going to be easier to play. And I'm talking about any make of guitar here. With lighter strings, it's going to be easier to play. and with a lower action, not super low, because sometimes when you lower the action on a cheaper guitar, you're going to get fret buzz and you're not going to get clean chords. When even if your fingering is perfect, you'll get fret buzz. So it means that the string is vibrating and hitting the fret. It's too close to it, so you get like a metallic sound. So you don't want to have that. You want the string to be able to still vibrate and not touch the fret. And the fret, by the way, is the silver line that you'll see on the guitar. As when I count up in the video saying first fret, second fret, third fret, then you'll find that the dots always are on the third fret, the fifth fret, the seventh fret, the ninth fret, the 12th fret. Sometimes you get it missed out. I mean, sometimes you have one on the first fret and sometimes on the third fret. Sometimes you don't get one on the third fret, but you get one on the fifth fret. But they'll be on the side of the neck, so when you look down at the guitar, you'll be able to see the markings. But anyway, the silver line is what we call the fret, and you don't want the string to hit that. So when you're learning to play, just keep the action as low as you can get it, but you don't want to sacrifice the sound of your chords to keep them nice and clean, and just play on light strings. In terms of makes of guitars, I would say that on the cheaper side, Yamaha do really nice entry-level guitars, and pretty much I would say that those would be my go-to when I've been teaching, and parents have been saying my kid wants an electric guitar, what should I get for them? I say that the Yamaha guitars are actually really good, the entry level, sometimes 100 quid, 120 quid, which is nothing really for the quality of guitar, because nowadays you can get humbuckers on there as well, which is great. So yeah, I would go for that. I mean, Fender Squires as well, all pretty good. So I'd say that nowadays the quality in guitar that you can buy has just really gone up. When I was young, I bought my first guitar that my parents got for me was a Tanglewood Nevada, and that was good. For the time, it was actually quite good. It is a nice electric guitar, and I didn't have any humbuckers, just single coils, but it was a nice electric guitar. But playing it now, you can really see how the entry-level guitars have changed. And that was a second-hand guitar that I received anyway when I was, I think, maybe 13, something like that. I started playing when I was 11, but I started on acoustic guitar, which I always say to people, if you are learning to play, if you start on acoustic guitar, when you then move over to electric guitar, it'll be so easy to play an electric guitar if you're playing everything clean on acoustic. And if you have started to play, I started trying to play things like Little Wing, for example, by Jimi Hendrix on acoustic guitar. So there are little lead lines and fills. If you can start getting those clean on acoustic guitar, when you move over to electric, it'll blow your mind because it'll be so much easier to play. So that's my tip if you are starting to play. But if you just want to jump straight onto electric guitar for the ease of playing, that might be another factor. It's not going to hurt your fingers as much. You can also get lighter strings on. On electric guitar, generally, you're going to go down to 9s, maybe 8s for really light strings. On acoustic guitar, 10s are seen as really light. So, as you can tell, that 10 is going to be thicker than 8s. So, on electric guitar, you can get 8s, and on acoustic guitar, you can get 10s. So, you can start to make your own decision as to how heavy you want the strings to be on your fingers. You'll be able to start playing electric guitar and suffer less if you are using 8s, for example. So anyway, thank you for that donation. So that would be my top tip, would be Yamaha for the entry-level guitars, but there are lots of other makes out there, and I haven't been sponsored by Yamaha to say that. It's just what I found as a great entry-level guitar for just no money at all, considering the quality and the options you get with the pickups, for example, and yeah, everything you get is really good. But thank you for that, Ginny. And Robert has donated $50, and the message was retracted, but then Robert donated $50 again. So thank you for that, Robert. And the message is, thanks for your hard work. Can you look into winery dogs? So thank you for that. The picture of a dog. So thank you for that, Robert. And If that is an accidental double donation, just let me know and we can sort that out after the live stream. Absolutely no problem. But yes, I can add that to the list. Thank you for the picture as well. So let's have a little look at the poll. So it looks like More Than Words is pretty much running away with it for tonight's cover. I'm just going to move this down a little bit to see. I'm going to call the poll to a close and see if that's the official result. It was 65 as we just had a little look at it then. But let's see what the official result is. It is More Than Words, 64%. So thank you guys for voting for that. And the poll had 254 votes tonight. So lots of votes for the cover. And if you can hit that thumbs up, that would be much appreciated. 294 is what we are looking to hit for tonight to have a pick roulette next week. And by the way, I don't usually mention it too much, but just to let everybody know that the foundation of this channel is patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. All these lovely people at the bottom of the screen who support me over there and make this all possible. Thank you so much for all of your support over there. And if you are interested in supporting the channel and helping things move forward at the rate that it is currently going, which I know is a bit crazy in terms of the speed, but it's only possible because of the support from you guys. And thank you, everyone. So that is the site, patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, if you do want to get involved yourselves. And you'll get your name on all of the live streams. As you can see, we always have all of the names going across every single live stream since the beginning of these live streams until the end of live stream time, whenever that may be. But I don't think it'll ever stop. I'm not planning on stopping on a Saturday or Tuesday. Pretty much whatever happens, unless I'm actually not here for some reason. If I'm in a different country, then yeah, it might not happen. But for every Saturday and Tuesday, I don't think we've missed one in about 2 years, maybe 3 years. I don't know how long we haven't missed a live stream, but it's always on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night at 12 midnight. That's 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. So yeah, I'll let you guys know, of course, if I'm ever going to miss one. But generally, even if I have to go somewhere, say for example, I had to go and do something fancy, like for example the premiere that I went to recently with my sister for the Right to Rock rockumentary that was on Fanny, the band over in the USA. If I have to go to that, generally the live streams are late enough that I can get back home and still live stream. So yeah, we'll just keep on pushing forward, and it is all possible because of your support. So thank you guys for that, and allowing me to get hard drives. I got another hard drive. I'm always buying hard drives, so your support helps me to do that, because I feel like well, I fill those up like you wouldn't believe. And I've bought just a 4 terabyte one. I think I got that last week, so now I'm putting all of the analysis videos on that and just filling that up, because yeah, it's a lot of information that I'm putting into the computer all the time. But because I can buy hard drives, external hard drives, and just put everything on those, it means I can keep on moving forward without having to worry about filling up the computer, because it would fill up very, very quickly. So anyway, thank you, Robert, for that donation. And Mary has donated €5 as well. Thank you for that in the messages. What's easier for a learner's fingertips? Light strings on electrics or light strings on acoustic? Thanks and congrats. So thank you for that. And light strings on the electric guitar, because you can go lighter. So look out for 8s are the lightest. I say they're the lightest that I've seen, but not the lightest that I've heard of. I have heard rumours that some people do use 7s on their guitars. And by the way, when I say 7s and 8s and 9s and 10s, what I'm referring to is the thinnest string that you get, which is your high E string. But that's what people tend to refer to the strings as, because it's the lowest number. It tells you how light they are. That's the lightest string. So if you're looking for playing guitar to be the easiest it can be on your fingers, then buy an electric guitar and get 8s. That's what you'll be able to, so that the lightest string is an 8. That's the number that you want to be looking for. As long as you have those, then you're absolutely fine. 9s on the guitar, I know from Ernie Ball, the strings are super slinky and they are in the pink packet. It's quite a bright pink color, but they're considered, you know, light. But if you want to go extra light, I believe they're called extra slinky in like a bright blue packet. I think that is the Ernie Ball packet color for the 8s. Extra slinky, I think. You know, don't quote me on that, but there's something in the back of my mind that it is ringing a bell that is the extra light version of Ernie Ball strings. So look out for those in order to get those for an electric guitar if you want. But you guys can just type into Google. I can't do it, unfortunately, because I'm live streaming and my computer would have to load and I'd probably freeze and then everything will go wrong and I'll get that rainbow circle of death. I don't want to do that. But if you type in Ernie Ball extra slinky strings, guitar strings, then maybe the blue packet will show up. So, yeah. Thank you for that donation. Mary and Tracy has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Tracy. And it's a lemon. Is it a lemon or a bird? I can't tell. It's either a bird that looks like a lemon or it's a lemon that looks like a bird. So thank you for that, Tracy, that donation and the picture. And Craig has donated $2 as well and says, hey, you, with the guy turning round with, it looks like aviators on. So aviators is the only way to go. I have a set of those myself. So thank you for that, Craig. We are going to be jumping into the cover for tonight, which was More Than Words, if I remember correctly. Thank you guys for voting for that. We'll jump into this and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock! Hi guys, this is my first proper video of 2017 and it's my cover of More Than Words by Extreme. And I hope you like it. Rock!
Saying I love you is not the words I wanna hear from you. It's not that I want you not to say, but if you only knew how easy it would be to show me how you more than words is all you have to do to make it real. Then you wouldn't have to say that you love me, 'cause I'd already know. What would you do if my heart was torn in two? More than words to show you feel that your love for me is real. What would you say if I took those words away? Then you could make things new just by saying I love you. More than words, now that I've tried to talk to you and make you understand, all you have to do is close your eyes and just reach out your hands and touch me. Hold me close, don't ever let me go. More than words is all I ever needed you to show. Then you wouldn't that you love me, 'cause I'd already know. What would you do if my heart was torn in two? More than words to show you feel that your love for me is real. What would you say if I took those words away? Then you could make things new just by saying I love you.
And there we have it. That was my version of More Than Words. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and thank you for voting for that in the poll. And thank you guys over on Patreon for requesting the videos for tonight. We opened up with Art Not Commerce, where I went for that very long walk, and then More Than Words for tonight's cover. So what we're going to be doing is jumping into the pick roulette for tonight. Yeah, it's almost 1 a.m, so we're going to have to move things along a little bit. Let me just jump into the PayPal donations window, because there has been a donation or two in there, and Orlando popped in there with an 80p donation. Thank you for that, Orlando. And the message is, I am fixing dinner and will be watching college football later. I'm listening to the live stream. It is flank steak on top of white rice for dinner. For your information, red meat protein with a fast acting carbohydrate, muscle food. So thank you for that, Orlando. Getting in the protein there, Orlando, being very disciplined there. It's all about, yeah, those lean meats. And I tend not to eat a lot of meat myself, but when I'm training, I have unflavored protein, which I've mentioned before isn't particularly nice. I put a tiny little bit of. This is maybe a top tip for people that don't want to have too many calories and just literally want the protein and nothing else. I know that some people don't like taking in, you know, flavorings or that kind of stuff, but having the unflavored protein with, and just take a scoop of that, stick that in your shaker or your blender, whatever you use, and I tend to have about maybe 20 to 25 grams in a scoop, and generally if you just level out a scoop you'll be fine. Put that in your drink, and then have a quarter of a scoop of a flavored protein. That's what I do. So then when you're drinking the unflavored protein, which isn't very nice by itself because it's got its own unique taste, which isn't particularly nice, so when you put in a little bit of flavor, you get a tiny bit of the aftertaste of, you know, banana or strawberry. Those are the two that I have, because those are two that react okay with my body. It's something that I can just put in a little bit and I don't have any adverse reactions to. Anything that's a little bit overly sweet, then yeah, my body doesn't tend to like as much. But when you're using the unflavored protein, just a tiny bit of flavor goes a long way. But yeah, I don't eat a lot of meat. I'll probably have just chicken and rice, but then if I did that every day, I've said before, I have a bit of a rubbish body that as soon as I take in too much of the same food, I went through a few days of just having chicken, as if you guys know and you work out, as Orlando will know, every 3.5 hours I was having my chicken that I had in like Tupperware, just giving myself that 20-25 grams of protein every 3.5 hours. And yeah, my body definitely didn't like that. After about 2 or 3 days, I just erupted in kind of, yeah, lumps on my skin, and I have this really weird reaction sometimes. So unfortunately, I then had to stop that, and I have to now just eat maybe one meal that's got a lot of protein in a day, and then just rely on the shakes for the rest of my protein intake. But I don't mind that, because protein shakes are very quick to take, and meals I'm not very quick at eating either, so yeah. Anyway, Orlando, thank you for that, and yeah, we won't get too much into the training talk, but thanks for the information on the dinner. And Karen has donated £3.61. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi Phil, as a musician I appreciate your open-minded approach that you bring to your music analysis videos. You've both musically reminded me and taught me that it's not necessarily about good or bad, it's about what is. Thanks for what you do. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen, and no problem. This is, again, a really important thing about being an original artist or just somebody who's interested in music. Don't get bogged down with trying to copy somebody else that you've seen. Just do things your own way and just use that particular artist as an influence, and then just do what you like to do. That is the most important thing. Enjoyment is what music and art is all about. The more you enjoy yourself, the more you'll express yourself, and the better the art is that you will be able to produce. So thank you for that, Karen. And we have a donation from Ileana, who has donated £3.61. Thank you for that. And it is a straight up donation without a message. And Orlando's donated again, 80p. Thank you for that. And the message is, I happen to enjoy the fact that the fact you listen to and analyze all genres of music. The first analysis I ever watched was 12th Street Rag by Roy Clark, who had just passed away. I finally watched a Wings of Pegasus live stream and became your fan. I like how you think outside the box when it comes to music. You show an open-mindedness which I admire. Thank you for what you do. Keep doing it. Rock, with lots of rock horns. So thank you for the kind words, Orlando. And Orlando is just a piece of the furniture here on the live streams, as everybody will know. But this is the same thing that I say every time about everybody joins for the first time at one point. Orlando would have joined for the first time at one point, and now we all know Orlando, and Orlando knows all of us, and it's all about just getting involved in the community. Huge shout out to the moderators for doing such a fantastic job. And we've got Carla in there, Susan and Dennis as well. By the way, I think I saw Susan saying that it's Dennis's birthday on Monday, or did I imagine that? But just in case it is, happy birthday, Dennis. Hope you have a fantastic day on Monday. And thank you, Laurie and Neil as well, the other moderators, for doing such a fantastic job in the live streams. But thank you for that, Orlando. And Paul has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Paul. Again, the message is, Phil fairly fit his finger on the 5th fret. Where's the 5th fret finger that Phil fairly fit? With a smiley face. So thank you for that, Paul. I think that was a bit of a tongue twister, but I was thrown off a little bit there because it didn't make sense. Does that make sense? Phil fairly fit his finger. What does fairly? Fairly I understand as when you do something that is even and everybody is doing something in a fair way, it's been fairly organised, or fairly to a lesser extent, fairly fit his finger. Maybe barely, but then that's not an F. So barely fit his finger on the 5th fret. Anyway, that's obviously a tongue twister that I'm just looking into too much, trying to make sense out of what is being said. But if it doesn't make sense, then it's even more confusing to say. I guess that's the point. But thank you for that, Paul. And just scrolling up, because Diana has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that. The message is, hey y'all, Phil, and a hey all y'all to the rest of the wingers. So thank you for that, Diana. And everyone say hello to Diana in that live chat room, but in the PayPal window as well. And Joan has donated £100. Thank you so much for that, Joan. A very kind donation. And this is for the hard drive fund, or whatever you need. So thank you for that. And yeah, like I said, this is definitely a fund that is, I don't know, ever decreasing, because hard drives just seem to go and go and go and go. I guess the problem is I'm making videos so regularly that it's always going to fill up hard drives. But thank you so much for that, Joan. And yes, I will put that in the hard drive fund. So we are going to be moving on to the pick roulette just quickly. Fred has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Fred. And the message is, it's the anniversary of the Montreux Casino fire that eventually inspired 10,000 kids to learn those 3 Deep Purple chords. So thank you for that, Fred. And yes, a little bit of a point in the direction. of that song, that that Deep Purple song that everybody knows. And I think a lot of people, when they start playing the guitar, the first thing they do is hit the low E string open, and then they realize that they can play Smoke on the Water on the 3rd fret and then the 5th fret, and they just do that on the low E string. That's pretty much what I mean. It's amazing that it is that well known, but it's so simple. But the correct way to play it is playing the D string and the G string open together, and then the 3rd fret and then the 5th fret, just kind of place down those 2 strings. So yeah, I know that a lot of people do play it on the low E string, but it's to get the official sound, make sure that you're playing on open strings. But anyway, thank you, Fred, for that donation. And we are going to be jumping into the pick roulette. So hopefully this is your lucky night, and I haven't got a top tip for this, so we're going to pick one randomly in a second. But thank you for entering this last week, and we are at 350 likes, so we are going to be having a pick roulette next week. So stay tuned to after this, so then you can get your names on the wheel for next week and potentially be a winner yourself. So let's jump into this, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock. So let's get the wheel up on screen, and there it is. So let me have a little look and see if I can pick out a name from there. We are going to go with Mel Bell, who's just gone through there. It's actually quite small, as always, so hopefully that says Mel Bell and not Maybell. Maybe it says Maybell, I'm not sure, and now I've lost where that name was, so I'm just going to write down Mel Bell. So Mel, you are my top tip for the... I'm going to get... Okay, I went really close to the screen to see it is Mel. So, good luck, everybody. This is going to be the... We don't have the... It's already randomized, so we're skipping that. And if we land on these darker ones, we then go to the t-shirt roulette. But we're going to have a spin. And then we're going to spin the wheel again, a different wheel, in order to see who's going to win a pick roulette pick tin with picks inside it. So we're going to have a couple of spins. Let's see who is going to win. So good luck, everybody. It's going too fast in order to see the names, but hopefully you can pick out one, maybe. I just saw Carl going through there. Julie. Carl again. Oh, look, Mel Bell, so close, yet so far. We were ever so... Oh, here we go. Is this going to get as far as the t-shirt? We might be having a t-shirt roulette, ladies and gentlemen. Or is it going to be Richard Tortordo Porco? It is. It's got as far as Tortordo Porco. So congratulations to Richard. If you could let yourself be known in the live chat room, that would be much appreciated. And commiserations everybody else. And Mel, apologies for choosing you as the top tip. I maintain my 0% record of picking the winner for the pick roulette. So congratulations. And I'm just gonna actually, we all know it's Tortordo Porco. I won't have to move that because I don't want to sacrifice the other pick wheel that we're going to be using. And we are going to spin this in order to see who's going to win the pick tin and some Wings of Pegasus picks to go inside the pick tin. So this is the bonus spin for tonight. So let's give it a spin and see who is going to win. And hopefully I'm doing this right. I think this is the extra spin that we had all organised from Carla, from the message that I was reading while the cover video was playing. But here we go. We are waiting to see who's going to win the pick tin. And we are slowing down, slowing down. Oh, look, there's Mel again. Wow, that's close twice in a row. We are going to go as far as Kathy Lucy. Is it going to reach Weeping Scorpion? It is indeed. So, Weeping Scorpion, congratulations. You have won a Wings of Pegasus pick tin and some Wings of Pegasus picks to go inside your pick tin. So congratulations to you, 2 winners tonight. We had Tortoro Porco and Weeping Scorpion. Tonight we've had some usernames as winners rather than just sometimes the other names, the first names. I do try and remember the aliases, so Richard, Tortoro Porco, but Weeping Scorpion, congratulations to you as well. Now if you can let yourself be known to Carla in the live chat room, that is what you need to do in order to claim your prize and to get it sent off to you. That would be much appreciated, so just... holla at that's very much an American term that we don't really use here, but I'm going to say it anyway. Holla at Carla. Maybe tag Carla in the comment section or in the live chat room with a comment so that she can see that and it will stand out. But anyway, talking of tagging Carla, it means that we're going to be getting rid of the pick roulette, so that now if you want to enter the pick roulette for next week, I'm going to give you an example of what to type in. We type in at Carla Murray and then click on Carla's name and type I agree, not lots but a few exclamation marks, and you should be able to see that going through the live chat room as an example to follow if you want to get your name on next week's pick roulette. There it is. Just copy what everybody's doing at the moment in the live chat room. If this is your first live stream, you've never been on the pick roulette wheel, just copy what everyone's doing here and your name will be on next week's pick roulette. So if you do win next week, you have to be in the live stream. You have to be in it to win it, because we need you to contact Carla for Carla to then be able to send everything off to you to send you your winnings. But just copy what everyone's doing here. Let's have a little jump over to Patreon to see what has been requested over there. Just a video to play to give you guys a chance to get your I agrees in that live chat room. So let's have a look at what we've had requested. So we've had Unwanted Stranger from Kevin, Constantia Hero, Paris Nord. So that's Metal from Karen, Lisa, Unlock Commerce, which we played at the beginning. Haunted by Marilyn as well. The Library, Phil Toon. Let's have a little listen. I think Haunted, I'm going to throw that one in there just because I don't know why. I just felt like playing it. So this is my song called Haunted. I hope you guys enjoy it. And last chance, type I agree. Tag Carla Murray's name. Type I agree to get your name on next week's pick roulette to have a chance of winning. So this is my song called Haunted. I hope you enjoy it and I'll see you guys after. Rock!
Rain falls outside my window.
And there we have it. That was my song called Haunted, and I hope you guys liked that one. You can pick up my album over at wingsofpegasus.com/music if you want to go straight to the music page, download any of these songs there individually, or get the whole album, which is called Persistence. You can also get it on iTunes and Amazon, but it's better for me if you go to my website, because then I don't have to give away a percentage. I feel like whenever I say that everyone else joins in with, because I don't have to give away a percentage, because I say it all the time. Unfortunately, that's just the way that it works on streaming sites and iTunes, Amazon. This is the other thing that somebody mentioned about wanting to listen to my music, and they said, oh, you've only got a couple of songs on Spotify, and I wasn't even aware that I had even a couple of songs on Spotify. As far as I was aware, I thought I took them all off Spotify, but anyway, I said to them that after 16,000 streams, I made £12, and for me as an independent artist, if I had sold 16,000 singles, I would have made... well, at 99 pence, just under £16,000 rather than £12. So I said it just made more sense for me to try and just promote my music, and if I sold an album, it would be more effective. Just one album would be more effective than getting 16,000 streams of exposure on Spotify. So that's why I took my music off Spotify, because I'd rather just focus on doing things how I think they should be done, which is when you want to listen to somebody's album, you buy their album. And that's kind of how I've always worked throughout my life. Whenever I want to buy a song, I buy the song, and I don't generally go in for the streaming stuff where you listen to stuff for free, because I am a musician, so I kind of see it from the other side of things, that independent musicians need all the help that they can get to try and get a foot up, to just make a living from their music, let alone just being heard in the first place, but being heard and then getting people to actually buy your music. There are so many huge companies that really say, use our platform, like Spotify for example. They'll say, use our platform, you won't make any money, but you'll get great exposure because you'll be on playlists with other artists like Bon Jovi and Guns N' Roses. You know, in my case, this is what they would sell to me, saying you'll get loads of exposure, but the exposure doesn't turn into album sales or single downloads. I know, because from 16,000 streams I made £12. So I would have been better off just asking lots of people, do you mind listening to my music? And if one of them liked the music enough to buy an album, then I would have done better than 16,000 streams. So this is the way that Spotify, I think, kind of spins a yarn to independent musicians, saying, we'll get your music on a really popular playlist. Yeah, that's irrelevant. That's not going to make you money. It just means that people are listening to your music, but they can now go somewhere to listen to your music for free. So they'll think, oh yeah, I like that band, let me load up their song on Spotify. And they'll be on Spotify. They might even be paying more than often than not, they're listening for free, but they might be paying a monthly subscription. But that monthly subscription is paying for all of the artists on Spotify, and I don't know how many there are. There might even be millions. So think about that money being split into those millions of artists and bands, and then that's why it's 0.00001 of a pence that you make for every stream. So then when you have thousands and thousands of streams, you can make £12. You have to be getting millions of streams to even start making any kind of money, and even then it probably still isn't enough to live on. So yeah, that's why I'm not on Spotify. But I didn't think I'd be explaining that tonight, but there you go. So if you want my music, go to wingsofpegasus.com/music. That's the way that I roll, because I have control of everything. I have my own publishing that I keep control of, so I want to make sure that everything is in-house. And with these live streams, everything is directly with you guys that are watching the channel, and you guys over on Patreon. It's always just between you and me, and no middleman getting involved. That's exactly how I like to do business. If somebody wants to contact me, they message me and then I reply. And that's all it is. It's just me doing everything. So Anyway, thank you for all of the donations and for tuning in tonight. I was going to say, I'm just about to end, but Robin has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Robin. And it's a straight up donation. The Lads Band Forever has donated $9.99. Thank you for that. And the message is, enjoyed the harmonies, Phil. So thank you for the kind words. And John Z has donated $10 as well. And it looks like that's a straight up message. So yes, it is. I'm just trying to scroll down to make sure. But thank you for that, John. And let me just scroll up because there's been another donation in the PayPal window. So thank you for this, Patricia, £2 donation. And the message is, hi Phil, any chance you'll give yourself Christmas Day off? You should be nice to yourself. So thank you for that. And yes, I think Christmas Day I'm due to go round to my sister's, everything being well. And this variant that we've got here, is it Omicron or something like that? I'm not sure, but there's a variant which some people are saying that Christmas will have to be cancelled and we might go into another lockdown. Hopefully that won't be the case. I'm due to go around to my sister's and spend Christmas Day with my sisters, my sister, my parents and my nephews as well. So I will be over there and I'll probably be live streaming Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, so same as last year. So you can tune in for that if you're not doing anything on those eves, or if it's a little bit earlier in the day where you are, then you might be able to tune in for an early evening Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve this year, going into 2022. The years are starting to sound crazy. It's like we're in space age time from back in the 90s. 2022 just sounded ridiculously in the future, where we'd be flying in cars and all that kind of stuff, but that is where we're about to be. So yeah, crazy stuff, how time flies. But anyway, I am going to be calling the live stream to a close now because it's 1 here in the morning. But thank you to Toro Porco Richard, who has donated £3. Thank you for that. And the message is sending you, let me get this up on screen, I didn't click on the button. Sending you this instead of trying to stream you 16,000 times. So thank you for that, Richard, and that is much appreciated. Thank you for your kindness. And just to scroll down to show you Patricia's donation, which was that one, and just scroll down again. I think we see Jones one, but there it is for the hard drive fund. So thank you for that. I'm just going to scroll up to the top to make sure that no more have come through. So we're going to be calling it to a close now. Thank you guys for joining me on tonight's live stream. There's going to be another analysis video coming your way tomorrow night, so stay tuned for that. If you want to subscribe, that would be great. You make sure you don't miss a video by hitting that notification bell as well, so you'll get all of the analysis videos, all of the live streams. And there's going to be another live stream on Tuesday night, so hopefully you'll be able to join me then. I'll be there exactly the same time, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time, and then another analysis video on Wednesday night. So just pushing forward as always. Thank you for all of your support. Huge shout out to the moderators. By the way, just quickly before we do finish, Carla's tumblers, she's got, I think, something like 14 orders for those, but she needs a few more in order to make it viable to get them made up and then sent out. So for the tumblers, the glow in the dark ones, I showed you a picture of those not so long ago, and I don't have a picture of it because I remember that I had to go into Facebook in order to get that, and it's going to totally mess up everything in order to try and do that now. But contact Carla if you want to either have a look at, or if you want to order a glow in the dark tumbler that has me on playing my guitar. And I think it's just the guitar with my hands quite close up. But you can contact Carla for that, just to mention it before we finish the live stream. Anyway, thank you for joining me, everyone. And hopefully I'll see you on Tuesday night. If not, I'll see you again live next Saturday, where your name might be on the pick roulette. It definitely will be if you've typed I agree. So thank you for joining me. Stay safe, everybody, especially with this new variant. Follow the government's guidelines. Wear your masks and all that kind of stuff. Vaccines here in the UK, they're rolling out the top-up one now. So I've had 2. I'm not sure when I'll have the top-up one, but I'm pretty much staying inside most of the time anyway, as you can see. So trying to stay as safe as possible. You guys do the same, and I'll catch you guys at the next video. I'll see you guys hopefully on Tuesday as well, but if not on Saturday for the next live stream. So I will see you guys at the next one. Rock!